GM, GM, we are live. They said it couldn't be done. They said, Chad, you'll never get to the dog. Well, actually, nobody said that. Actually, people have been nothing but super supportive on this whole way. And I mean, I just want to thank all of you. Thank all of you so much who come and hang out in the mornings, who stream with me, who bounce ideas off of me, who keep in check my worst tendencies to just windmill in Cam Scatabo every time. Truly, thank you all. For those who don't know, I managed to get the seat to the dog bowl. What a sweat it was. What a sweat it was. Tyler says big dog season. Hey Tyler, thank you. You are one of the reasons I was able to get there. Go AZ Cars. Congrats to the dog bowl qualifier, Mr. Chad Candles. I was sweating the entire time. It was an absolutely brutal sweat. That was it was not a fun sweat. It was not a fun sweat. Let me get through the first comments here. Hey, major congrats. Hey, Mike Rob, thanks so much. Truly appreciate you. Truly appreciate your support. Thank you. Kevin, buenos dias, Senor Candles. Hey, Kevin, thank you so much for coming by. Truly appreciate you, Kevin, and good luck. I know you said you might amp up your dog bowling, so I hope I see you in the streets, and I really hope to see you yourself in Kansas City. That would be incredible. Greg, GM Gents, congrats, Mr. Kent. Hey, Greg, thanks so much. Truly appreciate it. Our Dolphins did not have the same spirit of victory this week. So in an unsurprising fashion, they fell short. Justin, I called it for you. Hey, Justin, appreciate it. Really appreciate it. That is fantastic. I really, thank you for, speaking that into the universe. You never know. Things work in mysterious ways. So Justin, thank you so much. Kevin, I definitely probably said that. Greg, message to the bum hunters, call an ambulance. Yeah. I'm telling you what. We finally got there. Tiger Uppercut GM. Hey, Tiger Uppercut, thanks for coming out. Really appreciate you, Tiger Uppercut. Is a +1 your wife? I went to the bullpen and subbed my brother for my wife is my +1. My wife is my +1. Unfortunately, we also have a +2 with our 2-year-old, so we're gonna have to figure out what to do with him while we're doing stuff. But yes, no, the wife is coming. We're all going to Kansas City. I'm super excited. Tyler, smash the subscribers to get him to 500. Much deserved. I agree, Tyler. Thank you so much. And yeah, that would be really cool. I actually meant to put this on put it on sub chat mode. Give me 1 second here. We can do that, and then I will all right, customization. All right. We're not trying to gatekeep here, but we do gotta boost the numbers somehow. All right. Stephen Meg can babysit. Absolutely. We got to get Stephen Meg to the dog bowl there. But for those of you who were not sweating along, two things happened here. Let me pull up the team that got home. So this, I don't want to say masterpiece, because as you will see, Jacoby Myers was on the team. And Jacoby Myers scored 5.20 fantasy points, and we still got third. So this was, for the audio listeners, a team of Dak Prescott, Jonathan Taylor, Rico Dowdle, Jalen Waddle, Jacoby Myers, and Jake Ferguson. And what I don't know is when I drafted this team. And I was trying to figure out what – I must have been the one hole. I must have been the one, because I don't recall Jonathan Taylor ever not going one. So then at the 2-3 turn, I don't know what I did, and it depends very much on when this was drafted, because I did some drafts on Monday and Waddle was free, and I took him in the last round, and so I might have gone, instead of Dowdle, I took Chuba Hubbard, and then Hubbard was a Q tag swap for Dowdle. But then I also remember a draft where Jacoby Myers fell really late, because I wasn't super high on Jacoby Myers. And so I'm just like, I don't know when this was drafted. I don't know if this is one where I took Rico Dowdle at the 2-3 turn and did something like Dowdle Ferguson and then got Dak. I'm legitimately don't know what order I took these guys in. And I really wish I could find that out. Because I'm very curious if this was a Monday draft, because Monday, if you remember, Tyreek Hill Tyreek Hill's knee exploded on Monday Night Football. So before that happened, Waddle was a 6th round guy. So I don't know if this was a team where I took him last or this happened after, and I took Waddle and Chuba at the 2-3 turn, and then got a late swap, and then I took Dak and Ferguson at the 4-5 turn. I don't know. I legitimately don't know. Anyway, none of you probably care, but I do think it's interesting. But yes, we got home with Jacoby Myers. If you will look, I beat out poor Usen. I feel for this guy. Usen losing a seat by 0.1. That is absolutely soul crushing. That is brutal for that to happen for him. He got close. So it's actually funny. He has Rashid Shaheed. Rashid Shaheed was the guy I had. I was way above the field on with Shaheed. I loved that click. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to lose to my own click because I don't have him there. When the 1 p.m. games ended, click on the player and it will show you the draft position. All right, let me see. Pick 1. Oh, okay. All right. Wait, Dowdle picked 72. Does that mean he was a swap? Or I got Dowdle in the last, it was my last pick. Pick 48. Oh, go AZ cards. Go AZ cards. All right. Hold on. Let me catch up. Let me catch up. So this changes everything. So I must have taken Dowdle when I got the Hubbard news before the market reacted. So now I feel really smart, guys. I feel this wasn't just a Q tag luck box. I actually did something intelligent for once. This is actually miraculous. All right, let me get this up. Tiger uppercut. Dowdle ripping off massive runs yesterday was wild. Yes, I was very short the Dolphins. Ted McMillan, I had a huge share of in DFS. I had Bryce Young, Ted McMillan, Rico Dowdle lineups like in everything because I was like the Dolphins defense is so bad. Go easy card suggesting Rover for a 2-year-old. Yes, he probably is like watching like a large dog at this point. Great Waddle sighting. Yeah, Waddle was in this winning lineup. He, of course, was a bring back, or I guess Dowdle was technically the bring back because I took Waddle first. Yes, let's go. Skeletor, congrats, DBQ winner. Go easy cards. Yeah, all right. And Tyler noting, shame you can't see the draft board connected to your team in-app or on-site. So I actually took Jacoby Myers with hard-earned American dollars at pick 48. So Ferguson was pick 24, and Waddle was pick 25. Okay, so this must have been like a Wednesday or Thursday team when Hubbard first appeared on the injury report, and I took Dowdle at pick 72. So that's pretty cool that we got ahead of the news, and with our last pick, that's what got us home. So feel good about that. The Dowdle pick was kind of terrible. When the 1 p.m. games ended, I was actually in first and third. This team here that fell to 45th was also done. And this team ended up finishing in 45th place. The culprit here was Cam Scatabo. Cam Scatabo was not the pick. And I think this draft might have been on stream. I might have done this one on stream. I took Scatabo in fall. I'll have to go back and look. I did the math. If I took Egbuka instead of Scatabo, this team actually wins first and pushes me out. So, I would not have done that, but I was like, well, I was pretty sure this was one. I thought I remember this draft. So, at least I did not forego 2 dog bowl seats with taking Scatabo here. Yeah, Tyler, it was, I knew the third place team because obviously this team finished 45th. I was like, there's no way this holds because it only had 123 points and my team in first had 11 points more. I was like, this is not enough of a gap, but I was hoping at least this team that was in first would hold. And I had 2 guys. Fantasy Grinder, what a run Fantasy Grinder's on, by the way. Friend of the channel. Incredible shout out to him. He won the main BR 2 weeks ago. I think it was 2. It's either 2 or 3 weeks ago. And then he ships the dog bowl seat with a, going against the grain. He gets the cube. He gets the swap. I guess that's what that icon means. Going Darnold, Dowdle, JSN, Egbuka, Cup, and Laporta. So a Seattle double stack gets him home. Huge congrats to Fantasy Grinder. Pumped to meet him in Pumped to meet him in Kansas City. Go AZ Cards. Can't wait to buy a drink at the open bar watch party. Yeah. It's going to be nice. It's going to be so nice. And you can be very generous when it's, when it's drinks on site credit. The Gale, hey, huge congrats. Is this your first dog bowl? Yes, this is my first dog bowl, my second live final. I went to DraftKings King of the Beach in 2023. So 2 years ago. That was the only other live final I went to. That was really fun. So I'm really excited to see what Underdog has. My other BR stuff went bad because I had a pretty big fade on Iqbuka. Not great. I will never listen to separation scores again. I'm hearing that the Gale got 14th in the BR. Oh, that's awesome. That is so cool. Let's see. The Gale, here you are. Here was your lineup. Dak, JT, Javante, Nico, Iqbuka, and Ferguson. I mean, that's a sick lineup. Yeah, great team there. Congrats. 3K to the Gale. That's great, man. That's fantastic. These contests are so top heavy. If you look, my best team finished 451st. You say, Chad, that sucks. Look at this team. Baker, JT, Taylor, Njigba, Iqbuka, 0. And it was a Brock Bowers swap. It was Brock Bowers for Ertz. And we got 0 points. And look what's first place. First place is 150, and we had 131. And a lot of tight ends scored like 16, 17. That's like, this team got 400th place, but it deserved better. This was a sick team and then got 0. Stone effing 0 at tight end with a swap, with a Bauer swap. You hate to see that. So you know what? That's the way she goes. That's the difference between $50 and five figures there. But we cannot complain how yesterday ran out. But I do feel like I played a little better than to get $90 back. But what can you do? I should have been more in on Iqbuka, but I feel like he just keeps getting away with it. Hartman, GM, congratulations, chat. Hey, Hartman, thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Appreciate the support. I wanted to look at the eliminator stuff. Eliminator's looking grim. Eliminator is looking grim. We have one team left. We started with 47. Our big elim team's in fairly decent shape, but our surviving eliminator team, we're down 13. I looked at his team. He's done. And I have Mahomes, but Mahomes, for him to hit my lineup, would have to go nuke. And so for him to make up 13 points, he would have to have the most ridiculous day ever. So that's probably not going to help us. We need Pacheco for him to hit the lineup. He's got to outscore 8.3, which feels not great. And we have Travis Kelce. So between Pacheco's, whatever he gets over 8.3, and Travis Kelce, we got to make up 13. I think it's going to be tight. I'm not holding my breath. This team I think it's in trouble just the way things have gone, but we will see. The Gale said, Jamar Chase is exactly what I hoped. He didn't win with Browning at the helm. Yeah, Chase was huge. You know what I liked about this dog bowl slate? And I mean, this is my one. I do want to talk about this a little because sometimes it's very easy to just move on. And this is big. This is very big for me. I'm really excited. This was a goal. I said this was a goal to get to Kansas City. Someone on the channel asked, would I rather win the BR or the dog bowl? And I was like, without a doubt, the dog bowl, or I mean, a seat to the dog bowl, because it is so hard to get to. You cannot buy your way in. Donnie Murphy, GM, congrats on the dog bowl. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, really appreciate it, Donnie. It's a pleasure having you here, and thank you so much for the support. Oh my God, I'm so bad at navigating this website. The people chasing me. So I thought I was cooked with about 3 minutes left, because this cognition guy, he had Baker and Iqbuka, who once Iqbuka had that long bomb, if he had scored, I finished 15th or something, because so many people had Baker and or Iqbuka. This team was breathing down my neck. This Como Estas person once the Tampa game went final, he still had Keenan Allen. So I thought when the Chargers got the ball back, so he had Keenan Allen, right? And he's 2.6 points behind me. This guy has Jamar Chase breathing down my neck, and Browning took a safety, which saved me. And then Amon-Ra didn't get any more. We had Patrick Barnes YouTube with Ladd. So I was dodging Ladd, I was dodging Chase Brown, and I was dodging Keenan Allen, both of whom were teams deeply trailing, getting the ball back in garbage time. And I was telling my wife, I was like, it's not like it's over. It's like, there's no way I win. Like, one of those three is going to get something. And the Chargers called off the Dogs, and Browning, my God, I love the man. He ran into the end zone, and then I think Cincinnati still had a timeout, but they didn't call it. I don't know. I feel like I had the math wrong or something. But anyway, the Detroit was able to kneel out the game, and it was just like, oh, it's over. Like, we got there. So Go Easy Cards asking, are we going to see you in the winner's circle? Yes, I will be on the winner's circle on the Badge Bros. I think that show is on at 2. So I will be appearing there. Really excited to get to talk to those guys, because they're great guys. I know I've interacted with them in the Discord and on Twitter and whatnot. And Nez sometimes has stopped by this channel, which is really cool when he comes by. But yeah, really excited to be on their show later. Keep the Chief. Congrats, Chad. Hey, Keep the Chief. Thank you so much. Really appreciate the support. Chris, happy Bill Monday. Yeah. I mean, the Krosky Merit Nation in Euphoria, he looks good. He looks good. It is good news. It is all good news right now. So, yeah, I can't. Oh, Fantasy Grinder, by the way, Fantasy Grinder. Oh, I did mention this. I mean, what a year he's having. CG, I'll just look at his team. This team, very strong. Baker, Montgomery. So the Montgomery bet gets home. Rashad White, JSN, Egbuka, and Fergie. I mean, just a classic team, right? You get the Tampa overstack with Rashad and Egbuka. You get the JSN bring back. I mean, it just shows you that in these dog bowls, you can get home with these game kind of overstacks, and that's that is a difference. Like in the dog bowl, right? Like this lineup scores 136, it finishes second, and then you look in the main BR, and what gets first, 157. And so they have, they have a skinny, they have Baker and Egbuka skinny, no bring back. Although they do have 2 Dallas pieces, but the tight end was weird. Tight end was very high scoring this week. But, sometimes we can be too rigid with these rules. Like, oh, it's the main BR. I don't want, 2 skilled players with no quarterback. And then look at this. Javonte gets home. Ferguson gets home. Brohanosaurus flex, very high volume player, super sharp drafter. I know he crushes it over on DK and continues that here. So congratulations to Brohanosaurus Flex for putting that together. But really cool stuff. Chris, happy Monday. Oh, I read that already. All right. Well, let me just get some. You know what? We are going to do timestamps. We're going to do timestamps. All right. Dog Bowl team review, and let's see what's in the streets, because I have not looked at this slate at all. I have not looked at this slate whatsoever. So we've got primetime paloozas. We got the play. All right, let's just hop in a playbook. Let's hop into a playbook. We're waiting for. We might be here a while. I probably should have hopped into this before we started talking. But you know what? What are we gonna do? All right. Well, I'll put this at like 21 minutes playbook. All right. We'll take this chance to look at this slate by ADP. I bet these ADPs are really wonky here. Congrats to Xavier Hutchinson, drafters. Yeah, that was strange. That was strange, and I know there were. For some people, it would have been nice if Nico Collins had gotten at least one of those 2 touchdowns that went to Hutchinson there. The Gale asking, are you done with dog bowls now that you've won one, or how does that work? The Gale, that's a great question, because I was thinking about that myself. The dog bowl is very expensive. For me, it's definitely about getting the experience, getting to meet everybody there, the live final atmosphere, the trip, taking my wife somewhere like, she's never been to Kansas City. She's really excited that we won and that we can go. It'd be nice to have another bullet in the contest, but it's so expensive to pursue. I think, I had been doing between 40 and 50. I'll probably drop that to like 20. And partly because I really like the 12-person drafts. Like, I think the 12-person drafts are, to me, more fun. The 6 persons can get a little stale when you're doing a lot of them. The 12-person drafts, like, there's such a variance in your draft order. There's so much strategy. You're drafting with like really sharp people, so it feels like you're learning. Not that you're not learning in the 6 persons or you're not going to have sharp people, but it's like the people in the 12-person dog bowl is such a focus of so many people. They're putting effort in. So like if I see Mythology make a pick or Nez make a pick, it's not just like they're clicking the highest ADP or something. There's like, these are like well thought out picks. So it's super, like, to me, it's like a really fun thought exercise. So I want to keep doing dog bowls, but I'm going to drop the volume. I'll probably do most of my dog bowls on stream, and I'll stop like ripping, random dog bowls throughout the day like I kind of was before. But then again, I just love I love drafting, so I might just not. But I do think it is such a drain on the roll to if you're not qualifying, that I probably will cut back a little. Go Hazy Cards says, I hope you crush it in the finals, one place behind me. Go Hazy Cards, I would snap call that right now. If I could get second behind you, I know some grinders would be like, you wouldn't take second. Like, no, I would absolutely take second. Hard agree. Hartman, once you've solved the 12-man draft, the others feel boring. No, Hartman, I'm not saying I've solved the 6-person, but it's like they can end up like by the time you've done 100 of them, feel very like pro forma. And I guess the teams start feeling all the same to some degree or another. And that's like more what it is. So I don't know. I don't know, Hartman. I hope that didn't come across wrong. I think the 12 persons, you end up with such different looking teams by the end, and that's what I think I like. That's what I think I like about them. But I mean, obviously, I'm still scrolling. My I'm not duping myself in the 6 persons, but the kind of like core high end of the team. I think if you're just like skipping the first 12 picks, you're probably like playing very minus EV. So I'm going to have one of these guys, one of these guys in my screen is going to be on like every team, right? Well, maybe not Lamar and Dak. Like, this is kind of wonky, but you know what I mean? Like, normally if I'm looking at the draft board. Okay, Hartman, I'm sorry. I'm like, I know sometimes I can be not the most articulate. Chris says, you think winning 10K would take pressure off the bankroll? Well, Chris, let me make my pick, and then let me get back to that point, because you do raise a good point there. Let me get some night driving going. Like the Ravens don't fire Harbaugh or today, can I use your place to lay low after stealing all the tires from their cars? Oh my gosh. It's grim in Baltimore. I think on last week I said I took the Ravens at plus 250 to miss the playoffs, and I mean I should have put my house on that. Like, that was that bet's looking good. I could probably hedge out and guarantee profit at this point, because their make the playoffs should probably now be plus 250. They look in deep trouble there. All right, let's I'm like, oh, let's do a new slate, and I've just been blabbing and haven't looked at anything. Well, we're not going to pass on JSN. Javonte against Carolina, Pickens against Carolina. I think we're going to obviously skip the quarterbacks. I think I don't mind going JSN Javonte. I mean, Javonte is has been looking very good. So we'll take JSN Javante on this first playbook. Let's keep the board up. We can see what people are doing. We got JT Vinegar in here. Thanks for hanging. And likewise, Go Easy Cards taking Jacobs and Kyron. So we get Jacobs off of the bye week. Yeah, again, I like haven't looked at this slate, so I'm I'm doing this. I'm doing this for the first time. Amari and Hampton appeared in a walking boot. I meant to go over the kind of overall draft board before we started, and then I didn't. So let me keep the draft board up so people can follow along. But Chris, if you max if you do 50 dog bowls a week, that's $1,250. Like, you do that for 5 weeks, you're getting close to your min cash, just like covering what you've spent to get there. So it's like, and that's if you do 50, and people are maxing it. Like, some people are doing like 150 each week, and that's, I think, what, 3750 if I'm not mistaken. 3750. So it is very, it adds up really quick if you're doing the dog bowl. Go Easy Card should do the $75 single entry 12-man on Saturday for a smaller field's final practice. Yeah, I don't think I disagree with that. I need to figure out what I want to do for the 12 persons, because the 12-person playbooks do not fill very easily. So I'm still going to be in the dog bowl streets, but I'm going to be probably doing more of the 6-person stuff. And maybe I will do the $75 single entry. The only problem with single entry is, like, you really can get hamstrung by your draft position. If like certain draft spots can be pretty disadvantageous. And then this week was a very fair week. You could literally win from any draft spot, which I really like. Like, I had the one, and I got and I got Jonathan Taylor, which obviously was huge. But you didn't need JT to win. Like, if you really needed Dowdle, it was very hard to win if you didn't get Dowdle, because he went late enough to where but a lot of the early picks got home. Like, you could get there with Chase Brown, you could get there with JSN. The back half of the board had a shot at Igbuka. So you could have won from pretty much anywhere, which I really do like. All right, Judkins seems kind of fun. CD Lamb might be back. Gosh, this is it's kind of a wonky slate here, huh? All right, let's do Judkins. We're gonna pass on tight end. There's enough good tight ends this week, I think, where I'm okay with that. We'll go back to the Waddle well. We're not going to build any kind of crazy stack here. So we got Javante, Judkins, JSN, and Waddle here. Go Easy Cards, who he's got Jacobs, Kyron, Diggs, who looked phenomenal last night. And then let's see who he takes. He takes Tyler Warren. So first tight end off the board. In this one, in the 4th round, my hunch is maybe the elite tight ends come up, because you've got Warren and McBride, and then the next tier, Kraft. I think Kraft is probably like a half a tier below them. Maybe a full tier down with Ferguson. Bowers is injured. We don't know what we're going to get. Waller looked like they were going to take him straight to the Hall of Fame after the game ended. After the first quarter ended, and then I don't think he had another reception. I don't even know if he had another target, but he totally disappeared. So we will see there what happens. Mike Robb saying Puka not going 101 is going to end up seeming crazy. Duda already has 125 yards and a touchdown before the game starts. Add in playing the Ravens and the number of triples. Yeah. I don't know if I disagree with you. I'm just the only thing, Mike, is it's going to depend, and I don't have enough of a feel for the slate, is the depth of running back and the sort of tier break at receiver you get. I think you're going to see a lot of Puka at 101. I just don't know if it's going to be enough to flip CMC and Taylor. But I definitely could. I definitely could imagine. I definitely could imagine that. Who is the Colts are playing the Cardinals. So kind of middle of the road matchup for Taylor. And then who are the Tampa Bay? Okay. And the Niners are playing Tampa Bay. So I don't know. I mean, none of those matchups aren't like deeply concerning for CMC or Taylor. I don't know. I definitely see an argument for Puka 101 because he is separating from everybody. To me, this looks like wide receiver falls off pretty fast after JSN down to Pickens and Igbuka. I'm not going to fade him, but I don't love it because I'm telling you, that's separation score has cost me so much money for what appears to be a completely bunk stat because all he does is score touchdowns. All right, so we got Javonte, Judkins, JSN, and Waddle. We need a quarterback. Do we want to do Darnold? I feel like I don't hate unstacked Daniel Jones against the Cardinals. So let's do a Daniel Jones team. And then at tight end, what do we want to do? Man, it gets it's a grease fire here. Brock Bowers, Mark Andrews, Firemuth. Yikes. I think the elite tight ends are going to get pushed up because this is grim. This is really grim. Good golly. I'm gonna just take Bowers and I'll just play the Q tag game if I have to. Hopefully Bowers plays. Last time I played the Q tag game, as you saw, I got a 0 and it cost me possibly a few $1,000s. All right. So this team ends up being Daniel Jones, Javonte Williams, Quinshon Judkins, JSN, Waddle, and Bowers. Sometimes these ADPs can be really weird in the playbook because not enough people are drafting. Like, I think Brenton Strange is clickable, but are we going to be taking him every draft? Juwan Johnson, he kind of has come back to earth. After having 11, 9, and 8 targets, he's down to 3 and 4. Foster Moreau is back. Taysom Hill's doing Taysom Hill things. I don't know. So we got 4 people who are going to be happy with their tight end with Kraft, Fergie, McBride, and Warren. And then you're left with 2 people who are either scrolling or Bowers Q tagging. So kind of interesting. These are the things that we learn when we do these first drafts. So this team ends up being, or I already recap my team. Let's see what Go AZ Cards did. He's got Josh Jacobs, Kyron Williams, Steph Diggs, Tyler Warren, Drake May, and Juwan Jennings. So a lot of uncertainty early in the week. We'll see if Juwan Jennings is back. If he is, I definitely like him in the 6th round. I'd be taking plenty of him if he's going this late. Let's see what JT Binninger did. So he got Puka at 3, which again, that might be looking pretty nice. Genty at 10 makes sense. Jamar Chase, we finally saw him get home. It felt a little scammy, but he got home nonetheless. Obviously, he's going to be Browning's primary. And then McBride, Baker, and Rashad White. So interesting here. We see Bucky go at the 4th. I don't think Bucky's going to play next week, just based on. I don't know if anyone follows him on Instagram. I don't actually follow him on Instagram, but someone posted it in Slappy Central, and I went on his Instagram and confirmed it's real. He posted like the most bearish stuff. It made it sound like he was like had weeks to live. It did not sound like a man who's going to be playing football in 2 weeks. So I don't think we're going to see Bucky get drafted. In which case, I really do like Rashad White here in the 6th round because he does seem like we all want Sean Tucker to be a thing, but he's not enough of a thing yet for fantasy relevance. Trevor taking Marion Hampton, weird situation there. He left the game, was in a walking boot, no crutches, but a walking boot. Sometimes these things start that way and get worse. I have to imagine if he plays, this is probably around where he's going to get drafted. So I would likely wait on him, at least early in the week. I don't think you're getting any kind of huge discount. I mean, maybe you get him in the third, but again, this range can be so fluid. I just don't know. But opinions may vary. Maybe you think this is heavily discounted, and and if he ends up in the second, then it's a steal getting him in the fourth. I mean, you'll be able to Q tag him if he doesn't play. So I don't know. I'm just kind of talking through the Hampton decision. The Irving thing I think is kind of objectively bad. I'm really be surprised if he plays next week, just based on everything. All right, let's catch up with the chat here. Dowdle, Javante, Jake Ferguson. I'm missing. Chris, I apologize. I've blown past the context of that. The Gale said, it felt like cheating waiting for Montgomery to get that guaranteed touch. It was funny because it was looking to be like the most perfect day for the Vegas rigs everything game, because Montgomery was minus 180 anytime touchdown, but passing touchdowns don't count. So it was like, oh my God, he's going to get the touchdown in front of his family, but Vegas isn't going to have to pay. And so I was like, oh man, this is going to be good. And then, yeah, he obviously got the rushing touchdown. So the ATTD bettors get home, but it was a little sweaty. It was a little sweaty. I have to say that. Go Easy Cards. Yes, I passed on McBride. Still chapped about our loss. Oh God. I don't think this is going to make things better, Go Easy Cards, but I'm not convinced DeMarcado actually dropped it before the goal line. I don't think that replay was really conclusive. He's also kind of like moving the ball. Like, yes, he starts moving his ball towards before he gets there, but at what point has he actually lost control of it? Did he? I don't know. I think that the league just was like, oh, this is happening again. So let's, we're gonna, this is happening. I don't know. I really am not convinced he actually fumbled that ball to the end zone, but I'm sorry about that loss. That was a crazy way to lose a game. Absolutely crazy way to lose a game. I mean, so many things had to go awry there for the Cardinals. Ready to not win money because I think McBride is a good pick. Oh, I mean, I will continue martingaling McBride here. Hartman, kind of surprising. Quinchon doesn't go higher. Steelers have a pretty. I agree. I think we could definitely see Judkins go up. I just think the Steelers have a reputation of having a good defense. Like, I think in my head the Steelers have a good defense. Like, they always have a good defense, but they kind of don't this year. And Judkins is a monster. So if Judkins is really going to be going at pick 18 in BRs, I'm going to end up with like oodles of Judkins. I'm going to end up with a lot of him anywhere. If you told me he was a second round pick, I'm still clicking him. The Gale McBride, 9 targets, 7 receptions, 65 yards, and no touchdowns locked in. Well, there are weeks when that's what you need at tight end. Last week was weird. It was so tight end heavy. Trey McBride. Well, poor guy is just allergic to scoring touchdowns. Trey McBride, did I draft him again? Why did I draft him? Chris says, does Trey Benson get all the work after he's reactivated off of IR? Were there any AZ running backs worth a damn? Yeah, I think Hartman responded perfectly. DeMarcado looked good for 99% of a long run. Yeah. Didn't Bam Knights? It was kind of a nightmare. It's kind of a nightmare committee situation. I think Benson was the main beneficiary of the shenanigans. I don't know what happens in the meantime, though. I feel like they're live to like sign somebody. Like that situation was not good. Yeah. Go AZ Cards. What I said, his fingers had control. I'm telling you, I just, it's very hard for me to parse when he actually lost control, and I feel like he crossed the line, and they were just like itching to do it again. Just itching to do it again. All right, let me see. I'm sure the main BR is not up yet. I don't think it goes on till like after 10 or something, but I think we're still in playbook land. Let's do another playbook. I'll hop in this. We'll do some primetime stuff as well if people are interested. Sorry, everyone. This one's snap filled. If you wanted to hop in. And, JT Binninger got in here. Awesome. So he's at the 5. I'm at the 3. If I can get Puka at the 3, I will take him there. In the meantime, let me blow my nose. Actually, mute my. All right. We are back. We've got the 3. I'm trying to feel like if there's going to be a big tier break in any of these. So let's look at quarterback. Lamar Jackson, again, these ADPs are so squirrely. All it takes, like, if you want to market manipulate, like if I took, oh God. Like if I took Cooper Rush at the 3, his ADP will be like 3. And then that's going to get ported to the BR. Like I think people in these playbooks sometimes do. I have a theory that, especially in the 12 persons, people do monkey with the ADPs, because we saw like a few weeks ago, I'll take Puka here. Jordan Love, someone came in with like an ADP of, I think it was 3 in the 12 person playbooks, and that got ported into dog bowls, and it took most of the first day for him to fall to like the 4th, 5th round where he was supposed to be going. So I don't know if that was someone intentionally doing that, but I saw people taking Love in the 2nd, probably because it seemed like, well, who am I to argue with this ADP? It was very weird. So just be aware when these contests, when the big contests first launch, sometimes the playbook ADPs can be pretty screwy. Kelly Lapidus, hey, thanks so much. First of all, thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Congratulations on the win. Hey, Kelly, really appreciate it. Really appreciate you coming out, supporting the channel. Again, there is no way I'm going to the dog bowl without all of you, without bouncing ideas off of you all in the chat, hanging out with you all motivating me to want to be a better player. So thank you. And yeah, thank you, Kelly, for the support as always. Let's see what JT Binninger, he takes JSN there at the 5. And Devontae Adams at pick 4. That seems high. It seems high. What is his ADP? 17.4. Yeah. It's hard to know what's right. It is funny when you're doing these early ones, you're almost drafting like without the ADP guidepost. So it's kind of like your true opinion. However, it is also very uncomfortable because I haven't I don't know the slate that well. I'm learning who's playing who. And so it is kind of funny. It's like, well, the ADP is meaningless, but I also kind of need it because I don't know the slate well enough to play without it. We're not going to pass Igbuka ever again. I really like Tet McMillan against Dallas. Dallas's pass defense is god awful. Tet McMillan is a very good player. But we simply are not going to let Igbuka have these long touchdowns. Not get there for me. Go Easy Card says playbooks take forever to fill. People auto without ranks or starred and is ranked by projections when it first comes out. So QBs get auto to start, keeping their ADPs higher in the beginning. Okay. Well, that's a lot less nefarious of an explanation than I had. But yeah, having Lamar Jackson projected at 22 when I'm pretty sure they said he's going to miss 2 weeks. I mean, they desperately need him, but that Rams game, man, that's going to be tough. It's going to be tough regardless. All right, let's do 3 wide receiver. Let's go 3 wide. We'll take Tet McMillan on the team. Puka Tet. I mean, that seems fun. Let's see if we can't land the plane with a running back. And we got some good. I say some good. It's probably really just a Baker team, assuming no one takes Baker, which would be a little odd for Baker to go, but you never know. He is the 2nd ranked QB on here after Herbert, so definitely cannot count on getting Baker. Although with my next pick, I will not take a quarterback because the two to my left already have quarterbacks. That's one thing if you're new to the BRs, is be very aware of the people around you, what positions they need or don't, like not even need, but can or can't take. Like they simply cannot take a quarterback. So me taking a quarterback is an error because I'm just granting them 4 picks before I get to make my next one. Whereas if I pencil in, assume I take Baker there, which we don't need, we don't even need to. We could take a Russian quarterback. We could take Young. We could take Stafford. I think Stafford did a pretty good job of putting away the myth that he can't get home. He had a very good, but he had 4 touchdowns last game. I can't remember if it was 3 or 4, but he definitely, you definitely could win contests with Staffy at quarterback. Hey, Who Hames, sup fam, GM to you, Who Hames. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your support. I want to apologize to you. I tweeted out a lot of thanks and I meant to include you on there. You were actually in my drafts. I wrote my tweet in drafts and I realized you were omitted and you should have been there, Who Hames. You are a true friend of the channel and I really appreciate all your support. Your content is fantastic. If you don't subscribe to Who Hames, please do. But yes, I had not eaten dinner. I was like on cloud 9. I was trying to remember everybody in Who Hames, so I apologize. I didn't include your Twitter there in my thank you, but I certainly want to take the chance to thank you, Who Hames. One of the good ones, and I hope to see you in Kansas City. That would be awesome. All right, so Judkins goes to Mr. Binninger. That is, to be candid, who I would have taken, but I cannot fault JT Binninger for taking him. Man, running back's kind of gross, huh? Running back is really gross. I mean, do we take Hampton against the Dolphins? If Hampton doesn't play, we're in Q-tag hell. All right, we're gonna take Hampton, and we're gonna have to set rankings and just make sure we get somebody here. So we will see. Unfortunately, probably one more running back is gonna go. Consider taking Rachaad White, but again, don't necessarily love Igbuka White against the Niners. If Walker misses, or excuse me, if Chuba misses again, Dowdle is kind of a smash. Man, Jake Ferguson at tight end. Let's take Fergie, and if we, I'm not going to get Baker if I take Fergie, am I? We're gonna risk it. We've got some other options at quarterback if we don't get Baker on this team. But we're gonna chance it. We'll take Baker there. It does open up Dak, but let's see. Dak is did somebody already take Dak? Oh God. Yep, that was bad. All right. Well, somebody already took Dak. Somebody already took Dak, so we'll see what we end up with. We'll see what we end up with there. Hey, Mathology, winner. Appreciate you, Mathology. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Yes, we got home. I cannot believe it. I can't believe we're going to Kansas City. It was a goal of mine. It felt more like a pipe dream of mine. But every now and then things just break your way. And it has to be. I've had 2 big sweats that have gone my way. And they both were ones where I needed like the late game or games to like brick. And it is so much less fun rooting against anything happening than like for a thing. So my, when I won the BR, it was the divisional round. There were 4 games and I did not have anyone in the late game and I was in first. So I was just sweating the entire late game, like rooting for 3-yard runs to keep the clock moving. And yesterday I was done after the 1 p.m. game. So I spent the entire 4 p.m. slate just like rooting against everything. It's just like, it I can't complain, but man, it took it ages you. It ages you. Yeah, it's why we play the game Mythology. It is. We live for the chance to have a sweat here. All right, we'll take Baker here. So this playbook team ends up being Baker, Hampton, Puka, Igbuka, Tet McMillan, and Jake Ferguson. If Hampton plays, I quite like this team. I think, I think before I said I didn't necessarily love Hampton here in the fourth. I think I revised that after looking at the running backs that are going later. It gets grim. Like, it gets really grim down here. So I don't know. I think there's a few names that you potentially could get to that aren't getting drafted yet. If it's really hard to know what to make of the Pittsburgh situation. Gainwell looked so good. I mean, that really could revert to like a 50-50-ish split like we saw in the first game with the Steelers, even if Warren's back. I think that's unfortunately live to happen. An undrafted Kamara, he literally doesn't have an ADP. That's got to change. Some people are going to take Kamara. Though New England did very well against Cook last night, I have to say, I think a lot of us expected Cook to go off. I did not play Showdown last night for one of the first times in a while. I did not play Sunday Night Showdown because I was just like, I cannot focus on building a lineup for this today. Chase Brown, what did he end up with? He had 7 receptions. I was like, he kind of got there on DK, like not horrifically. I mean, you're not winning any contest with that, but a mini PPR scan with 7 receptions for 21. Gosh, there's Cincinnati is just in shambles. And then like Etienne, I think I've had to adjust my priors on him. I think he is worth a click. And boy, Derrick Henry, 15 for 33 and 1. How the mighty have fallen. It is absolutely brutal there in Baltimore. All right, let's see. I don't think the bigger contests have opened. No. All right, let's do a prime time hurry up. Let's look at the prime time slate. Let's try to do a prime time slate. Also, it's been 53 minutes. I have not asked if you can like and subscribe. That would do me a ton of good. It'd be super fun. Appreciate you all. Appreciate the support. And yeah, we continue. We're in at the 2. I have not looked at this slate whatsoever. So we got Philly at New York on Thursday Night Football. We got Jacksonville at home against Kansas City tonight. Now, I think the wrinkle is Tyrone Tracy is probably coming back on Thursday from his shoulder thing. So that definitely takes a little bit of shine off of Scatabo. Now, does it take it enough to drop him from the 4, ADP of 4? I think kinda a little bit, but what are my quarterback options? Let me see this. All right, I actually think I kind of want to pass on the problem is this passing on the elite QBs. Now I'm getting Scatabo, and I don't know if that's right. Let's just take Jalen Hurts. Let's just build a Hurts stack. Scatabo did have a really bad fumble. He just about dropped the ball. But then he didn't get punished for it. He was on the sidelines screaming that he needed new gloves. Love that. Love blaming the gloves for the fumble there. But Scatabo does not strike me as someone who will fumble lightly. I don't think he fumbled very much in college. So we took Devonta to pair with Hurts. I think I'm okay. Let's just take Wandale. We're going to just build out a little mini game stack here and then try to figure out running back later. Yeah, Tracy's still there. Tracy might be our early cheat code in this because I don't think he's going to get taken every time. At this point, tight end between Theo Johnson and Brenton Strange, I'm pretty agnostic. If someone goes double tight end, that's like kind of a bummer. I thought Diami Brown was coming back. Yeah, Diami Brown's coming back. I like that. Travis Hunter being free is a little Kareem Hunt, though. I imagine he's still going to be the goal line back here for Kansas City, so I'll take Kareem Hunt. I know they're going to work Brashard Smith in more. I think I can get away with pushing tight end. If somebody takes the tight end, that sucks. And this is going to be a Noah Gray team. But let's take Tyrone Tracy, especially if he's not going to be 100% owned. I know this is heresy as a scatterbro, but I do pride myself on being at least somewhat objective about these sort of things. So let's take him, and then we'll end with Theo Johnson. If I have to get Noah Gray, we'll get Noah Gray because he randomly spikes a touchdown, but it's not the preferred way. Gosh darn it! All right, Noah Gray it is. That was unfortunate. I really would have preferred Theo Johnson, but what? That's the way she goes. That's the way she goes. Who aims Jeezy on the dog? Well, hey, who aims? Thank you so much. I am over the moon about it. So this team ends up being Hurts, Hunt, Tyrone Tracy, Devonta Smith, Wandale, and Noah Gray. All right, let's hop back into a playbook. See what we can see. Waiting for 4. If anyone wants to get in, please feel free. Would love to draft with y'all. I did want to check. I think yesterday was a pretty good day for the old advance rates for us. All right. Yeah, so we are now advancing 23 of 150, 15.3%. So we're pretty close to our expected advance rate. We got 3 teams in the top 10,000, which is kind of cool. It still like we're running cold with third places. We got a lot of thirds. Like this team has a lot. These 2 teams have a lot of points to be not advancing. And so we got a few teams in third there. Third. Like we have a lot of teams in third. A lot of teams in third, a ton of teams in fourth. So I feel like we're pretty live to get 25 teams through. I feel like I'd be a little bit surprised, barring injury, of course. That could change everything. But I feel like we're not doing too horrible. We're not doing too horrible there. So not too bad. Not too bad with the I think the James Cook having a bad game helped. I'm a little underweight on Cook, unfortunately. I came around to him too late. I wasn't worried he'd hold out into the season, but I was worried that the holdout could impact his conditioning. We've seen players hold out and then have soft tissue injuries. So I think I overstated that risk to myself. So it was not a fade on the situation. It was never a fade on the touchdown regression. It was kind of a cowardly, what if he's not ready for the season fade. So I probably won't be making that mistake too much going forward on those types of running back holdouts. But once it got resolved, I should have just been windmilling him in, and I kind of was slow to catch up. So I'm a little below market on that piece. Let's see. Hartman says, I thought Cook would regress in touchdowns. It turns out he's just Eckler. Yeah, I mean, he definitely ran hot in the touchdowns. He definitely ran really hot in the touchdowns. I guess the problem is once he got paid, I don't know. I mean, it seemed like they really committed to him in a team that we know is going to score a ton of touchdowns. We should have just been like, yeah, he might regress a little, but he still is the lead running back on a team that's going to score a ton, meaning he will just have random games where he has 3 touchdowns. Like that should not surprise us, that and a team that we're thinking is going to put up like 28 points a game, 4 touchdowns, like 3 of them go to the running back. It's like, yeah, that tracks. Like there's too many touchdowns on that team to not have wanted the RB1. And I think a lot of us convinced ourselves, me included, I'm not saying you. I was also thought that I'm going to take Puka at the 1. I think a lot of us thought there might be more of a 3-way split. I thought there was a chance that Ray Davis would eat into some of the work or could even take some of the goal line stuff, and that just like has not materialized like whatsoever. And they're just, the other 2 running backs are operating perfectly for Cook, where they're keeping him fresh and explosive but not taking like high value stuff. And so he's gotten like a very strong run out, even stronger than I thought he could. But now in retrospect, it doesn't seem like that surprising to me. Go AZ Cards, my current highest scoring team, BBM team has Scatabo, just saying. Pretty good. Yeah. Go AZ Cards. My one worry with Scatabo is Dart is not a good quarterback for him. And I am as big a Scatabo bull as you'll ever find, but I watched a lot of that game, and there were plays where Dart like looked over the Scatabo, and instead of just checking it down, he just said, screw that, and just like took off himself. And he's going to do that. He's going to do that a lot. I would love to see more designed throws to Scatabo, because he is, I think he's a little bit elusive. He's got some wiggle to him, and we know he can break tackles, and we know he's not afraid to like run through contact. So I would love to see them design a few more, screens or little outs to Scatabo versus him getting checkdowns, which again, Dart just doesn't do. And he never did in college, and we shouldn't expect. So if he's not going to get those catches and then he's just kind of like, needs the volume, it's a little less fun. I'll be the first to admit that. Tracy coming back, it doesn't actually scare me. I think if anything, a few fewer touches for Scatabo to keep him fresh it might not be the worst thing in the world. Like I don't know that I want him getting like 25 touches in a game. I think that's like, I think that's a recipe for massive inefficiency. But I don't want to say, I don't want my running back getting touches. That's kind of like a dopey mentality. But there is a point at which like there is something to be said for keeping a player that plays at 150% every play, like to have them take a little bit of a breather, because he would gas out in college. I do remember some occasions where it was like, okay, please take Scatabo off. He's like, he is not helping the team at this point, but he's never going to like take himself out. All right, so we got Puka here at the 1. I don't think anyone else. Oh, JT Vinegar got in here. He's got JSN and Javante. Gosh, I don't like Kyron, but this Ravens defense sucks. The Ravens are terrible. So let's do we want Puka Kyron? I think the playbook is small enough to where I can do that, and I'm okay with it. So let's go Puka Kyron. I mean, we're just gonna play the Ravens to get smoked again, which kills me as I'm a Dolphins fan, but the Ravens are definitely my second team. Being here in Baltimore, I like when they're good. I like winning games. I like the Ravens, but they are in turmoil. Hartman, Cook was also a guy who was super high on last year, and he felt a little disappointing even with the crazy touchdown season. His rushing yards are also way higher per game so far this year. Yeah, that is true. That is true. I'm pretty sure his snap count is up from last year. If not his snap count, definitely his carries seem like they have come up. But yeah, last night the Drake May Industrial Complex, which is very strong. I'm not in the cabal. I am not in the cabal. I'm not even cabal adjacent, but the cabal loves Drake May. And they are definitely having a good day today because Drake May looked really good, outdueled Josh Allen. They definitely are might be onto something with Drake May there. So he looked very good. He looked very good last night, which kills me as a Dolphins fan because now we might have like a long-term problem in the division yet again, and that's not super fun, but we'll see. I'm not a huge Drake May bull, but I have to concede he does have his moments, and last night he looked pretty good. So JT Binninger, he goes JSN, Javante, Judkins, and Warren. And now running back, how has it gotten so bad? Am I missing somebody? Is there like someone no one's drafted that I'm like a secret player down here that Underdog forgot? This is terrible. I mean, I'll queue up Etienne. I don't even know that I need to. CD Lamb, what is out again week 5? All right, I don't know whether we should expect him back. You know, it's possible we should be taking Lamb and playing the Q-Tag game with him because wide receiver's pretty deep. So Lamb does go. Let's do Etienne. I don't even know if I want to do. All right, we're gonna get real greasy. Because we have Puka and Kyron. Zay Flowers almost got there. Zay Flowers like fell down and just about scored a. Oh, all right. I forgot my position. All right, there we go. Gosh, we're in this terrible position again with the tight ends. This is so bad. I can't believe I'm taking more Brock Bowers. All right, we're really gonna have to set rankings here. Zay Flowers fell down on a play he could have possibly scored on. So I don't know. You know, what did he have? He had was it 72 yards, 5 for 72. Houston's pass defense is not bad. Not that the Rams is bad either, but let's stick with Zay Flowers. You know, we do need the Rams to get a little bit pushed, I feel like, for this to get there. Maybe not. Maybe this doesn't even need a Raven, but we'll do that. We'll do that, and then we'll see what we get at quarterback. Hartman says a lot of good running backs in island games this week. Let's see. What's the Thursday game? I believe you. I want to know who they are. Okay, the Eagles Giants game. So we got Saquon, and then we got Scatabo/Tracy, and then there's 2 Monday night games again. That's the problem. I forgot they were doing 2 Monday night games. We got Bills Falcons, which takes away Bijan and to a lesser extent Algier. That might be more of a 12-man kind of situation. And of course Cook. And then Bears Commanders. Don't love Swift, but he's a guy. And then Commanders Krosky Merritt. And then the Sunday night game is Lions Chiefs. So we lose Monty, we lose Gibbs, and then we lose the cavalcade of Chiefs. Yeah, that does kind of explain why it feels like running back is like really thin. The 12-person rooms are going to be horrific for running back. My God. Beastburf, GM Chad, congrats on the DBC. Hey, Beastburf, thank you so much for that. It means a lot. Appreciate you coming and hanging out. Yeah, I mean, I still can't believe it. I still can't believe that that lineup got home with Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers tried to keep me in Baltimore. He's like, oh no, absolutely not. You are not going to Kansas City with my 5.2 points. But you know what? Credit to Jacoby Myers. I think he had like 2 receptions on the utter garbage time of garbage time drives. And if he does, I mean, 4th place was literally 0.1 behind me. So if he does not get, a single additional yard, or I guess, that would split it, and then I would have some kind of terrible playoff or something. If that doesn't get it, we do not go home. Hartman, also early game Broncos versus Jets. Oh no, that's not on the slate. I missed that. I completely forgot that. Yeah. So Breece Hall, Dobbins / Harvey. Yeah, it is. And the bye weeks. I mean, my God, it is really tough sledding here. Mythology, Chad, you are the first person to punch a ticket out of the 1 hole, plus the first person to get home with all 6 at 100% ownership. I feel like that first one is pretty cool to be the first one in the 1 hole, but also like you are the first donkey who couldn't figure out how to scroll to get home. Like that is awesome. But yeah, that is so cool, Mythology. Thank you for that. I do like that 100% that 100% ownership stat. Go Easy Cards would love a second seat, but part of me wants 36 different people to attend. I think it would be pretty cool to have like all 36 be unique, but I think the games to fill need like the high volume people trying for I'll take Staffy on this team. We'll do Stafford, Kyron, Puka, Tet, Zay Flowers, and Brock Bowers. This also, by the way, explains why tight end is a nightmare. I mean, we're missing Kincaid, we're missing Pitts, we're missing Ertz, Laporta, Kelsey, Mason. Like it is tough. It is really tough. Yeah, the 12-person rooms are going to be an absolute nightmare. Harmon, Chad beating the cabal allegations by beating everyone with fully drafted players. Yeah, new meta. Scroll. I don't know what the opposite of scroll to F down is. Like this, you can't really scroll up. Like you hit just lock your mouse wheel. Just lock your mouse wheel and just take the highest ADP. like a complete and utter fish. Now that said, Mythology, I took Dowdle. I went back and looked. I took Dowdle with pick 72, which means I got him when Hubbard first cropped up on the injury report. So when I took him, he was not 100% drafted. He only got to 100% because he was the highest swap. So anyone who had Bucky or Chuba, there were a couple running backs that were highly taken. He was the first swap in. So that is that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But yes, ultimately we did get there. Steven, congrats. Hey Steven, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Chris, you definitely have to plan content from the DBQ finals. Get some guests. Oh my God, I know. I'm so excited to meet everybody. And actually, Pat Mayo replied, or like what I sent out my tweet, and he's like, I'll see you in Kansas City. I'm like, Pat Mayo. Like I love, I've been a huge fan of the PME for years and years and years, and for that meant a ton. I'm excited to meet him and everybody. But it's just like, oh my God, it's Pat Mayo, someone I've listened to their content for over 10 years now. Really cool. So I'm not suggesting Pat Mayo is coming on this pod, but I'm saying I am super excited to meet everybody there. Yeah, chalk it up. That's it. Go Easy Cards. We're changing the meta. Mythology. It's all about the combos. You nailed it. Yeah. Thanks, Mythology. I really appreciate that. And yeah, I still can't believe Jacoby Myers was on the winning team, because he was literally anybody who I could have taken in that spot would have outscored him by like 6 or 7 points. And so it would have been like not a sweat. And instead it was so sweaty. Caitlin Clark MVP. Hey, awesome. Congrats. Hey, Caitlin Clark MVP. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Appreciate the support. And thank you so much. Go Easy Cards, best part will happen when Numi is your host. Yeah, I can't believe it. Yeah, it is so exciting to get to meet all the people. I know it was like I was still like sweating stat corrections, and then I got followed by on Twitter by like Hope and shoot, I'm blanking on the name. It wasn't Numi, but like another person who works for Underdog. I'm like, oh man, this is real. This is happening. So that was really cool. Now to get that and be a part of this. It's really cool. All right, so it's 9:47. Pete's portfolio review is coming soon. Let's squeeze in one more playbook, and then we'll call it here. All right, sorry, this one snap. It was Brett. Yes, Beast Burp. Thank you. Yeah, so that was awesome, and really means a lot. Really means a lot to have y'all come in, hang out. I will be signing off after this one, and then I will be lurking over a chat rat in Pete's stream. I obviously suggest his portfolio review. It's a fantastic Monday show, so I will be over there watching that next. Don't think we got anybody in this particular room. I have failed at tight end. I think this draft we're going to make it a mission to take a tight end here at the 3-4 turn. If there's only one of this cluster of McBride, Warren, Fergie, Kraft left, I will take them at pick 17. Otherwise, I'll probably push it to 20, but we'll see. We'll see what we come up with. Tight end is thin. Running back is thin. Receiver has not felt bad. You can find guys down here. I've got no problem going, okay, I have a problem at a certain point. Even Ridley showed some life. Ridley ended up with 10 targets, 131 yards. I think Calvin Ridley against this really crappy Vegas defense, I think he's live. If you want to think of early scrolls, Jacoby Myers. If you want to draft him, you could also like purchase a hammer and slam it on your toe, and it's the same experience. You can do that. He's down there. No one's going to draft him. I'm not going to draft him. Yeah, Hartman, haven't heard of this Pete guy. Check him out. Yeah, exactly. I'm directing people to Pete Overzet as if I'm breaking ground, but truly. Much higher production values over on the Pete over. Oh, Dylan Gabriel. Gosh darn it. Are people really trying to get a? So I don't know. Is Bread 100K trying to mess with ADPs, or is he trying to get this thrown out, or both? I'll have you know. Now I'm followed by members of Underdog, Brett. So I have a direct line. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to seem important, but it's a little annoying when people try to throw drafts. I don't know if that's what he's actually doing, but we'll just take Jonathan Taylor at the 1.5. Dylan Gabriel, I will say he looked competent. He looked better than I was expecting. Had a very tough matchup against a very good defense and did not look out of place against the Vikings there. Playing in London for your first game, I didn't mind that. I thought the Cleveland showed signs of life. They were pretty live to win a game that they were not expected by many to be competitive in. So that said, please don't take him at the 101. That just simply cannot be a good process pick. All right, well we'll just take. I mean, A-Chain is tempting, but Jacobs against Cincinnati, I feel like we just do that. My vibesy take is Jacobs should flip A-Chain. I think that this matchup is too good. A-Chain 10 for 16. He did, get there through the air 6 for 30. Carolina's defense, their run defense, not that great. So I don't know. It's, again, the one good thing about A-Chain is if the Dolphins are getting blown out, A-Chain turns into a PPR scam. So he's kind of like game script proof. But that said, Cincinnati's run D is so bad. We'll take Jacobs in this spot. I know people at Hartman, I hope everyone knows I'm kidding. I am I'm completely kidding. I don't actually I don't actually mean that. But yeah, no, it is let's hope he's not trying to get the draft thrown out. But Chirath, hey, cheers to you on the Dog Bowl qualifier. Hey, Chirath, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Appreciate having you here, hanging out. And I now I'm trying to blank. Are you in? I feel like I saw you at the top of something. If not, I apologize. But I feel like you had something recently. Yeah, go easy guards getting banned from Underdog because of a playbook draft. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they might not throw it out because this might not project horrifically. They just took Ladd and Jedkins, which are more than reasonable second and third round picks. My feeling on these things is you should not get drafts thrown out for drafting players that get drafted, most of the time, or like a quarterback that's, part of something. You should be able to play, I don't want to say bad or suboptimally, but you should be able to like make your own decisions. And so unless you're like really tanking things, let's just take George Pickens here. Ted McMillan against Dallas, though, is tempting because Dallas's pass defense is really not very good. Let's do Tet over Pickens. Tet's got to have like a multi-touchdown game eventually. I don't know how I feel about that. Pickens might have been nicer just because I can stack with Dak a little more easily, but we're going to take a tight end at this point. So he takes Pickens. I think I'd prefer McBride, but I'm okay either way. Justin Schuster, I was in a pennant draft. Guy took all Braves, didn't get thrown out. I'm embarrassed to say, like, is that bad? Yeah, I'm assuming that's bad, but I don't know that format enough to know if that's truly so suboptimal. I assume that's I don't know. I guess, are the Braves like not in the playoffs? I'm sorry, Justin. Oh, the Braves were out of the playoffs. Okay, yeah, that'll do it. I thought if they were in the playoffs, I was like, well, if your team's stacking and you're trying to, okay, yes. Well, in that case, Justin, that would that probably should get thrown out, to be honest. But I don't know if they'd already been eliminated. That seems like something that should probably get tossed. JT at pick 5 versus Arizona will not be there tomorrow. Nope. No chance. I'm surprised it was here today, but we had someone take Brock Bowers at 3. And then they took Warren, so that makes me feel pretty happy about Trey McBride at pick 20. Yeah, you guys can stop drafting playbooks because the winner has been drafted here. No, we'll see. We will see what we get. There's definitely still time for this to go off the rails. But Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs, Ted McMillan, Trey McBride feels like a pretty good start to a playbook. I would take this every time if offered. But yeah, like you said, pretty much no chance Taylor is there at the 5. If I take an A-Chain here, maybe that's like a unique combo you won't be able to get. But honestly, I think Jacobs is going to flip A-Chain as time goes on, especially when projections come out. I feel like the community does not love Josh Jacobs, so maybe it takes longer. But when big ETR comes out, they're going to have to project Jacobs ahead of A-Chain. Hey, Nick. Yo, congrats on the hit chat. Hey, Nick, thanks so much for that. Really appreciate you coming by. Appreciate the support. And yeah, thank you. I am over the moon. I cannot believe we got there. I am, set that as a goal for this year, and we got there. So it is so exciting. But we're gonna keep drafting DBQs. I'll probably just do most of them on stream. Cut back on my off stream ones because I think people like watching the Dog Bowl qualifiers. If you don't, let me know, and I won't. But I think people generally have enjoyed those streams, and but really hoping some of you all who hang out here get there. And so I'm so excited to get to meet Go AZ Cards, and would love to see a few more of you there. That would be absolutely awesome. So, all right, we've got Ferguson's. No, we already have McBride. Don't take Ferguson. Don't do that. I like the idea of shorting the Dolphins and taking QJ. I'm just wondering. I'm going to take Herbert first. Yeah, I take Herbert first because this guy's full. And then I could take Ladd over QJ. Or did Ladd already go? Did I miss that? Oh, Ladd already went. Okay, so Ladd has reflipped QJ. Let's go back to the QJ well. Yeah, he had a pretty bad drop. But we will, or fumble rather, yeah. Let's go back to the QJ well. If anyone can get you off to Schneid, it's these Dolphins defense. In case you didn't know, it's pronounced as in Jackie Chan, A Chan. I know it keeps going back and forth. It keeps going back and forth for me. Thank you, the Gale. I know I try to get the pronunciations right. A Chan. All right. But no, thank you there. Mythology says, please do continue help seeing the board. Hey, all right, Mythology, I appreciate that. I will keep on. I will keep on with the dog bulls. Justin says, will you be on Badge Bros later? Yes, I will be. I will be on Badge Bros later. I'm pretty sure that's at 2, but I will be on. I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, thanks all for hanging today. This last draft ended up being Herbert, Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs, and then Ted McMillan, QJ, and Trey McBride. I don't think it's going to get thrown out. I think the one hole, they made a coherent team. They just took it in a weird order. So not too bad. Yeah. Again, thank you all. Thank you all so much. All your support, hanging out with you, talking through things in chat means a ton. And yeah, we'll be back on tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. We'll be running some in the main BR. We'll be doing some dog bowls and maybe a couple of the side contests and stuff. But appreciate it. Appreciate you all. And I will take care. See y'all later.